Hola, buenos días. Me llamo Roberto Morris. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Hoy vamos a estudiar el calendario y los números. But first, let's sing our opening song. Canten conmigo. Hola, hola, buenos días, bienvenidos, ¿cómo están? Todos juntos ya estamos listos para aprender. Muy bien cantado. Well, let's start today by looking at the calendar. We'll look at some questions and answers, and I want to see if you can figure out what we're talking about. Empezamos. The first question is, ¿cuáles son los días de la semana? Now you can see that's a question because it has the question marks there, and it's asking something about the calendar. The answer to that question is, los días de la semana son lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo. There you go. So the question was asking, ¿cuáles son los días de la semana? What are the days of the week? And that's the answer. Now, there's something that you might not see, but the Spanish calendar starts on lunes, which is Monday. What day does our calendar start on? The first day that's right over here. That's right, Sunday. But the days are still in the same order, okay? So lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have a song to help you review and remember the names of the days of the week. It goes like this, and I'd like you to sing along when we start naming the days. Hay 7 días en una semana, los vamos a nombrar. Help me out here. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Muy bien. That's a good job. Now we'll sing that song again, so you may want to practice in your classroom. Ahora, otra pregunta, another question. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? And I've asked this question before. Look at this answer. Hoy es lunes 22 de septiembre. And now that's the date that I'm calling today. If it's a different day when you're watching this lesson, see if you can figure out what the day is. And you can see that the system is very much like ours. We use dates and days and months. That's right, the months. Now let's talk about the months. Here's the question for you. ¿Cuáles son los meses del año? Los meses. Now this isn't like a mess that you make in your room. A mess is like septiembre. The names of most of the months are very much like the names of the months in English. The one that seems the most different to me is enero, the first month of the year. Let's go ahead and look at those right now. Repitan todos. Enero, febrero, and you can see that that looks like February, marzo, abril, repitan, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Muy bien. Those are really pretty easy for the most part. Another thing that we use when we talk about the date is the number of the days. Now, many of you already know the numbers, but I tell you what, let's go over them right now to refresh your memory. Okay? Repitan todos. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Now those are the single digits, and you should practice those because we use those again and again as the numbers get larger. Now the numbers continue, and in English we have the teens, right? Well, in Spanish they have some irregular numbers right here after 10. They have 11, repitan, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you can see these kind of look like the digits, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, when you look at all of those, you can see that there's a pattern. They all end with the CE, don't they? Now, from here on out, there's a definite system. And what you have to do is say the number of tens and the units, or the digits. For example, let's look at these. Here we have 10. Okay, we've talked about these. If you have 10 and 6, you say 10 y 6. Or 10 y 7. 10 y 8. 10 y 9. Okay? Then we come to the new numbers for the tens. We've talked about 10. Okay? Repitan. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. Y 90. And now if you want to talk about 20 and 1, all you do is say 20 y 1 or 20 y 2. And it's the same all the way through, 30 y 1. Okay? So after 90, what do we have? 100. 100. That's right. So if you look at any number within our number sheet here, you can probably name it. Let's see. Aquí tenemos los números. We're going to start up here. Okay. Remember we said 10 y 7. Right? So if you can remember the names of the tens and the names of the ones, you can name these. How about this one? This is 30 and this is 4. So this number here would be 30 y 4. And y means and. So you're saying 30 and 4. 30 y 4. That's right. You guys can practice that some if you want, writing out numbers and trying to read them. Now, who remembers what we've been studying up to now? Do you remember? That's right, greetings and things. Well, I tell you what, let's go over those right now. Repitan todos. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy bien. Okay, I want you repeating. Now remember that you can also answer that question. Instead of saying estoy bien, you can say estoy más o menos. Remember that if you're just kind of Or you can say estoy mal if you're really feeling bad. But I hope you're all bien right now. We also talked about this question. ¿Cómo te llamas? Repitan todos. ¿Cómo te llamas? Okay, now I was asking for your name, so if you answer that, you say, me llamo, and then you say your name. Repitan todos. Me llamo Roberto. And I hope you all got a chance to choose out your Spanish names. Now, when you meet someone, You shake their hand, you say, mucho gusto. Repitan, mucho gusto. And if someone says that to you, you say, el gusto es mío. Repitan todos. That's right. And finally, last class, we talked about some phrases that you'll probably find useful for being polite if you want someone to do something. All right? For example, if you want someone to give you something in Spanish, you say, por favor. That's right. Repitan. Por favor. Now, if someone does something nice for you or gives you something, what do you say to them? You say, gracias. That's right. And if someone says gracias to you, how do you answer? De nada. Repitan. De nada. Now, we also said if someone's going to play a sport or take a test, what do we tell them in English? Good luck. In Spanish, we say, buena suerte. Repitan. Buena suerte. That's right. If someone's eating, we'll say, oh, I hope your food does you well. In Spanish, it's buen provecho. Repitan todos. That's right. Yeah, you can use that today in the lunchroom if you want. Now, if we do something on accident, okay, like look at this, she's got an ice cream cone, but where's the ice cream? Oops. She says, perdón. Or she can say, lo siento. Repitan, perdón, or lo siento. Muy bien. I'd like you guys to practice those whenever you get a chance. Right now, why don't you all review quickly the numbers with this video? Ahora, presten atención y repitan todos. Los números. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, I hope you guys were repeating along with that. Right now, we're going to do something that I really enjoy. It's called TPR, and that stands for Total Physical Response. It's called that because all you have to do is respond physically. I'll tell you to do something in Spanish, and then I'll show you what I mean. All you have to do is do what I say. Now, I had some students come into the classroom to do this with me the other day. Teachers, you decide how this works best for your classroom, whether all of your students can participate or just a few at a time. Ahora, presten atención y participen todos. We're going to go over our TPR today, but before we do that, I'd like to practice a couple of sentences that we've gone over quite a bit in class and that you'll probably hear a lot in Spanish-speaking countries. So let's go ahead and see how the students do here. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Batata.
Muy bien, Latara. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Andrea.
Muy bien, Andrés. Let's see. ¿Y tú cómo te llamas?
Yo me llamo Uriel.
Uriel. ¿Y tú cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Muy bien. ¿Cómo estás, Elizabeth?
Bien.
Muy bien. Y Uriel, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Muy bien. Andrés, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Muy bien. Y Latara, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Muy bien. You guys are doing a great job with that. Now, teachers, I think it'd be terrific if you could practice these sentences in your class sometime. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the TPR. In TPR, I'm going to tell you to do certain things, and I'll show you what I mean, and then we'll all do it together. So everybody get your chairs arranged so that you can do what we're doing here. ¿Listos? Let's do this. Párense. Okay, and when I tell you that, I'd like you all to do this. And then maybe I'll tell you, siéntense. And you'll do this. Okay, did you catch that? Párense. Siéntense. Very good. Párense. Y siéntense. What do you think, guys? Was that pretty easy?
Yeah.
Sure, that was easy. We're going to be doing some more of that later, but that's all we have to do right now. So, muchas gracias. Let's look up there and tell everybody adios. Adios. Muy bien. Well, I tell you what, let's look at our activity sheet for today. It's called El Calendario. As always, let's go ahead and write up here where it says nombre. You can use your Spanish name. Roberto. Me llamo Roberto. Now this says, fill in the blanks to complete the calendar. Okay? So here's the key. Martes, jueves, miércoles, sábado, lunes, domingo, viernes, octubre. Which one is el mes? Octubre. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that they don't capitalize the months of the year. Octubre. Now, I'm going to get you started here. Los días de la semana, remember, it starts on lunes. And I'm going to go up here and mark through this one. So I'd like you guys to go ahead and finish putting los días de la semana, the days of the week, and then find out octubre, where the numbers go, and write the numbers and try to say the numbers as you're doing it. Now down at the bottom, I've got a couple of questions. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Tu cumpleaños means to complete a year or your birthday. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Write your birthday here. See if you can write it in Spanish. ¿En qué día cae tu cumpleaños? What day does your birthday come on? See if you can find a calendar to find out what day your birthday comes on. Teachers, I'd like to remind you that in the back of the LPG, the teacher's guide, there are the answer keys, so you can look right there to find out the answers for that activity sheet. Well, that's about all that we have time for today. We looked at the calendar and the number system, in addition to reviewing our other lessons and doing some TPR. It's been a full day. Next class, we'll be talking about language in general and some of the things that you can do that will help you to speak Spanish. For our goodbye song today, let's try a new song called La Bamba. And you may have heard this one before. So, canten todos. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia para ti, para mí, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Everybody sing now. Bamba, bamba. Bamba, bamba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, bamba. Help me out here. Bamba, bamba. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up with your practice. Until next class, adios y hasta luego.
Yes.